Welcome back, Socialites, to episode 37, GPS Tracking, your podcast for everything you need to know about the Global Pokemon Society Draft League and all your Pokemon news. It's your commissioner, Ryan, head coach, Boston Braviers, joined this week by Chris, a.k.a. Chris Elanius, a.k.a. head coach, the Diamond Desert Dwellers. How's it going, Chris?
Hey, Ryan. How are you?
Good. Glad to see the Draft League battle content going up on your channel now. I know you had your first week go up earlier this week, and you'll be doing that every Monday, correct?
That is correct.
You're going to do that? Awesome. And I know you got another battle coming up tonight, so good luck on that. All right, so this is going to be kind of a quick podcast, guys, hence why it's just me and Chris. Less people talking means we move through things faster. So we're just going to recap what's going on in the two leagues, and big announcement, we're going to be changing the format of the podcast, I think for the better. I think it's going to be a better viewing experience for everybody. Yes, thank you, lone live audience member cheering in the background. But before we get to that, I want to give Chris a little plug. He just started his own podcast as well. Chris, why don't you just take a moment to kind of tell everybody what that podcast is about? And for those who want to check it out, the channel and the first episode are going to be linked down below in the description. But Chris, why don't you take a quick moment, tell everybody about this new project you're working on?
Thanks a lot, Ryan. Well, like you said, it's a brand new podcast we're working on. It's going to be separate from my main channel, but the whole idea is going to be a podcast from creators for creators, and it might not be super educational, but I guess the theme we're going for is more relatability of content creators. And if you're not a content creator, at least you can kind of get an eye for what people are going through when they're making videos and stuff like that. We're going to be nerdy all the way, or along the way, have some cool stuff going on. So the podcast is I have to double check. No, I don't. It's Collateral. Yeah, Collateral Content is the name of it. So it's the Collateral Content Podcast. So it's a bunch of, and I think that title works really well because it's like the damage collateral of making videos.
You got a lot of stuff kind of going on, and like, hey, this is what comes out afterwards. This is the collateral damage from everything.
Yeah, that's the idea.
Thrown around. So I like the name. You guys, again, everybody, check out the podcast. It was kind of like an introductory podcast, so you get to meet Chris and his co-host Aaron on there, and two good guys. Well, I know Chris is a good guy. I'm assuming Aaron's a good guy because you're working with them. But so definitely check them out. And I think it's a good concept. I like having content creators on here. We've had people who are part of the league on here, obviously, who are content creators. We've had other people from other draft leagues come on, and we talk about the differences and everything. So content creators helping content creators, talking about content creation, gets all the juices flowing. But you're gonna be the first star, like guest star we have on it. Special guest.
Yeah.
This you officially asking me? I know you were telling me about this, but you never officially asked me to be the first.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god. Is he getting down on one knee? Oh!
Well, we've been through a lot together, and I don't know when we can make it happen. Yeah. We'll pick a date later. The details aren't important.
We'll do it.
But this means so much to me.
Chris, I don't have to be the first. Listen, and to everybody looking for love out there, this is for you. You don't have to be the first. You just got to be the last. Know what I mean?
I got you.
So I'm going to shut this podcast down when I'm on there.
Episode
ripped off the air, the last guest they ever have.
It'll be like episode 4, end of podcast.
Of podcast. Ryan came on, and YouTube just had to shut everything down. But anyway, so congrats on that. Everybody check it out for sure. Looks like they're going to have a lot of great stuff to talk about, and I'm sure you'll appreciate their the viewers' feedback on what you guys can talk about and everything. So it'll be a lot of fun. But with that said, let's take a quick look at the current league standings and everything. Some of this is updated. We're kind of like in the middle of week 4 right now. Kind of fell behind on some content recording. Let's take a quick look here. All right, so this is the major standings right now. So we got your boy standing up there, number 1, undefeated. Got my match for week 4 coming up tomorrow against Dripvale, so we'll see if that can stay. I was sitting pretty up here with Charm City, but they ended up losing in their week 4 match. So they kind of slide down a little bit. 3-1 right now.
How do you feel about your next match?
I don't want to say too much because I don't know exactly when I'm going to post this up, if it'll be like right away tonight or if I'll wait till tomorrow. But let's just say I got a couple things I'm working on. I made a couple moves in free agency and trades this week too. See if they pan out for sure. But I'll say this: I'm not afraid. You know.
That says it all.
Don't ever live in fear, kids. So, with that said, though, I think it'll be a good match, though. We'll see. We'll see. Hopefully I don't make any mistakes. But with that said, we got Denver and Miami. We got Pittsburgh, who's actually 3-1, so they're going to move up in the rankings. They beat Charm City this week. PSG is also 2-1. The Mighty Psyducks. Here's a story, Chris.
Oh, I'm ready.
Mighty Psyducks won 2 in a row. Now, Chris, were you on that podcast where I forget if you were on this one, but we had a podcast maybe 2 podcasts ago, where
I don't think I was.
Yeah, I think you were on the one before it or something.
Yeah.
But anyway, I challenged Ali. I said, Ali, because he had just lost. He had gone stomped like the first week. I was like, Ali, you're going to get 2 wins this season or we're going to make like a goofy video. And then what's he do? He rattles off 2 straight wins. The Ducks are flying high. And we all know that the Ducks, they might not have ever been the best team in the society, but they were always the number 1 team in our hearts. And that's what matters. So it's good to see the Ducks achieving, at least early in the season, and I hope that they keep it up. I think they have a pretty good matchup this week, so we'll see. It should be a close game if they continue to play well. And then we got one of the new teams, El Paso, as our last 2-1 team here. Then moving down to the latter half of the brackets, we got Dripvale, who I'm playing this week, sitting at 1-2, Reno, Tuscaloosa, Minnesota, Vero, and LA all at 1-2, and then Sin City and Tokyo bringing up the rear at 0-3. Now we got a new coach for Sin City, the Sprouse Squad, for those who haven't checked out his channel yet. He does a lot of Pokemon content with the trading cards and everything as well, so he does kind of a variety. He took over last week, so he does have 1 loss under his belt, but I'm not writing him off yet since he just kind of like started into the society a couple weeks ago. So what do you think looking at this quick picture, Chris? Any teams you see trending?
Well, a lot of the teams that I thought were going to do well are the teams that are up there. You know what I mean? Like, I expected Charm City, Denver. I don't know about the Braviaries. I didn't have high hopes for them. But I also kind of thought Reno would be a little bit higher up there. But this is interesting. There's some matches I haven't seen, and I need to watch the majors more intently so I can learn what I'm doing. Because you guys are crazy. I don't know how I can't keep up. So if I want to win the minors, move up to the majors one day when I'm a big boy, I gotta take some lessons from those top 5 guys.
Yeah, well, actually, with that said, let's go take a look at the minors right now, because you're not doing half bad for sure. So here's like the minors schedule. But for the standings, so we got Slow Kings are the lone undefeated team. They're currently 2-0. Again, we're kind of in the middle of week 3 here, so you see a couple teams have some extra games. Florida's 2-1. The Socialites are also 2-1. Good to see Vaughn doing well with Socialites. And then you're currently 1-1, but you got your week 3 game coming up tonight, so you could be one of those 2-1 teams, and you already have a positive differential, so that could put you in a good position for sure.
Yeah.
Gardner also 1-1. Australia 1-2, and then the winless teams are Wobbuffet and Daytona. Wobbuffet played their week 3 game, but they still haven't played their week 2 game against Daytona, which is why Daytona's only played 1 game. So I kind of gotta figure out what we're doing with that. I know Daytona's been giving them a lot of extra time, and I'm fine with that. If the coaches are fine with giving extra time, as long as it's not affecting too much. But at some point, I gotta say, hey, you guys gonna do a battle, or what's going on here?
Is this happening or what?
Yeah, exactly. So what do you think, Chris? You're currently in 4th place. You could be moving up with a solid win tonight. Do you see yourself as kind of one of those top 4 teams?
Well, absolutely.
There you go. Have some confidence, man. You're there right now, so you got to say yes, right?
I know that I misplayed a little bit in one of my other matches, and I'm not proud of that. But I've got some advice. I've got some tricks. And I don't know if I'm going to be top 2. I don't know about that. But I'd like to stay. I'd like to move up 1. Like, if I end the season any position higher than I currently am, I think I'd probably be pretty satisfied, considering I haven't really been a part of something like this before.
Yeah. Yeah, and all you need to be is in that top 4 to have the chance to join the majors. So, I mean,
I need bragging rights, though.
Yeah. I mean, the higher, the better. So, for sure. So, good luck with that, and good luck to all the majors and the minors coaches, except for Cole. He can suck it this week, because I'm gonna win. All right. So that's a quick look at the standings and everything going on here. So with that said, kind of like the big announcement, we're going to be changing up the podcast. Right now, it's kind of just been like a roundtable talk of, we get like 4, sometimes even 5 coaches if we're feeling frisky on here. And we kind of just talk about like, hey, what was your match like? Hey, let's take a look at, this schedule, or just kind of like general stuff, and we're all just kind of talking, right? Sometimes we bring up some different things, like we've had live battles on here and everything, but those are kind of a pain to coordinate and do all that. So we are going to be changing it to more of I want it like Sports Center-esque, right? It's going to be segmented. So what that's going to do is that's going to take a lot kind of like off of me and everybody trying to coordinate, like, hey, we need like an hour and a half one night this weekend to all get together and sit down and talk about all this stuff, one take, blah, blah, blah. Now it's going to be more like, hey, I can do a 10-minute segment this night. I can have a coach come on for a 10-minute segment this night, kind of break things up and then just kind of compile it all together, make it clean with some transitions and everything. So that's kind of like the goal for there. And we have a lot of cool segments we got planned. Obviously, coach interviews is going to be a big one. I'm going to still want to have like 3 or 4 different coaches on every week just to rattle their brain, or, whatever they want to talk about. Chris, you want to come on and talk about, Pokemon Go, talk about content creation with your podcast? I'm happy to do that. Other coaches, they want to come on, talk about some battles, talk about like other games, like not necessarily Pokemon. I know Juan would love to do that. Definitely look forward to doing that stuff. We're going to have like a top 5 plays of the week. So when everyone sends in their recorded stuff, or Chris, if you record something and I see, I'm like, oh, Chris, yo, that was a sick play that happened right here. Can you clip that and send it to me so I can throw it in the podcast? You know, something like that. So we'll have a top 5 plays of the week for everybody to recap on. We're going to do, I'm calling like a hot takes minute, but like, right, there's a lot of shit that's crazy with Pokemon, right, Chris? You know what I'm talking about. There's a lot of crazy shit.
You've heard the McDonald's Pokemon card stuff, right?
I don't even want to get into Pokemon cards right now. That would be a hot take. I could go on a rant on everything in the past like 6 months that's been happening with Pokemon cards. I'll probably have like Justin and Pokemon Joe come on here to rant about that. I'm sure they could go back and forth ranting and raving about all this shit that's happening with Pokemon cards lately, especially Justin. Everyone knows Justin, aka Juggernaut, aka Australia Arbox. He lives in Australia, and they've delayed the new Pokemon set yet again by like another month, and that's pissing him off because that's like his business. But yeah, so we're gonna have like hot take segment where we'll just have somebody on and we'll be ranting and raving about some of the stuff that's just stupid in Pokemon. You've been around for 25 years at your 25th anniversary. And some of the stuff you do is stupid. And you got to be called out for it. And God damn it, I'm going to be the one to do it, or I'm going to have somebody else come on and be the one to do it. Because enough is enough. I don't know who to blame, but we're going to be pointing fingers. And I think that'll be a fun kind of fiery thing, just like rant for like 10 minutes straight, whatever. Try to keep it PG-13 a little bit.
I'm getting heated up, like thinking about.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, because I got like all these ideas of stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I just think about these things and I'm like, that's so stupid. Why do they do it like this, or why can't they do it like that? Anyway, I don't want to give anything away of my ideas but yeah, we'll have a hot take segment. Everyone knows the Sportcaster hot takes. We're gonna have This Is Juan, aka Worcester Delibird's idea. I'm calling it Society Stories, so it's kind of like a flashback sort of thing. Like, you know, maybe we'll have some old coaches on or talk about like some old matches or rivalries or something. We'll have to hash that out, but kind of just like hey, rewind it back. Here's what happened in previous seasons, sort of stuff. Yeah, but we're gonna have a bunch of different things going on, and of course we'll have the weekly recap. Like, hey, here's the standings, here's who won, who lost, transaction stuff. But I think that'll, for one, be more fun and interesting, kind of doing segments like that, and two, it'll be, I don't want to say easier, but it'll allow a little bit more maneuverability with scheduling and stuff. And I think it's been a pretty positive feedback for that. So I hope everything goes well with that.
Oh, it will.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Chris.
Yeah.
Good. Have some confidence. But yeah, let me know down below what you guys think of the new format. Should be premiering next week at some point. So hopefully everything goes well with that. But yeah, that's basically our really short podcast tonight. So Chris, anything you want to talk about before we go?
Well, I just want to say that with this new structuring of your podcast, whenever you are on the new one that I'm doing, the Collateral Content Podcast, we're going to have a lot of questions for you about how you run your podcast, how things go. So definitely, it'll be a good time to do that with your restructuring of your podcast.
Yeah.
And kind of going on there and talking about, it'll be like talking about the back scenes of it as much as you're comfortable with. So if anybody is interested in hearing more about what that's like for you, that might be something that comes up on the podcast.
Yeah, for sure. I'd be happy to talk about it. I mean, I don't expect it to be perfect week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, but maybe by week 10, I'll have something resembling quality. Because, you know, if you've ever watched my early content, you would definitely see that every week I like did something different, right? And that's kind of like what's added up to kind of where I am now with every week I would tweak something, do something different. Even this season, I've done some different stuff. I kind of got rid of the face cam on like non-reaction, like stuff that's not my video, where I'm just commentating somebody else's, because, you know, I just felt like, they don't need to see my face when it's somebody else's battle, right? So I kind of took that away. It's just me kind of commentating it, and yeah, but just different stuff. So we'll see. And I want to get better at like editing too. So I think having something that I can like piece together, like take 10 pieces to a puzzle and piece it together, that'll help with like giving me something more to edit. Because the battles I don't edit like too much. You know, so
Yeah.
that's definitely a skill I need to work on and everything. Yeah.
Well, I'm excited to see what comes of it.
Yeah, for sure. Me too. Again, I think it's going to be a change definitely for the better. But let me know down below in the comments section what you think, guys. And if you aren't already, make sure you're subscribed to the Global Pokemon Society. Make sure you're subscribed to Chris Elanius. Make sure you're subscribed to his new podcast channel, Collateral Content. You got a lot of subscribing to do, people.
Get to
Don't disappoint your mother. All right. And with that said, stay classy, society.